Welcome in, everybody. Whether you're on the East Coast, West Coast, or around the world, this is Coast to Coast. We got Pags out here shopping live on camera. What's happening, man?
You know what? I expected it to be a lot busier out here today, and maybe it's just because it's way early here. It's 10 o'clock in the morning, but it's actually pretty easy going right now, which is nice. There's not tons of people here, and I can actually get some shopping done.
You know, I'm curious if it was it's either a light year where people just aren't doing all the things they normally do, or people did a really good job planning ahead, because we were out last night because naturally we shop similarly. And it was also pretty light last night. We went out, I want to say it was about 9 o'clock, something like that, 9:30. And the store was pretty empty overall.
I mean, I guess with Amazon, everybody kind of just shops from home anymore. There's not many people are coming out to the stores as much. But I'd be willing to bet that this is a little bit of a down year. Like, it's not, I got to imagine that not everybody has a lot of money this year. That it's just for whatever reasons. I keep hearing that real estate has been down the lowest it's been in forever. That like 2 years it's been off like this. And that's a good telltale. When nobody's moving, people are hoarding their money rather than spending it. So it makes me think that could be what's going on here a little bit.
Yeah, well, and online shopping definitely is part of it for sure. But I mean, even with that, I was surprised that there wasn't the amount of last minute shoppers when we were out last night. Apparently we're the only jerks out there.
Hey, I get it. I only do my shopping on Christmas Eve. And it used to be that it was all guys. We'd go hit the bar for a minute. We'd have a beer, and we'd go out and do some shopping, come back to the bar, have another beer. I'd keep my tab open all day long, actually, and just continually go back and forth from the bar, because it's like you get a drink. Hey, I got, talk to the guys. Hey, what do you think about getting something for this and this and this? And then you go run and go grab it, see if it's there. If it's not there, you get something very close to it. So it's, instead of Uggs, you get Fugs. You know what I mean? And it's
Yep.
I'm a Venmo. I do a lot of Venmoing to the kids.
Oh yeah, there you go.
In the family, right? I'm like, here's $100. Merry Christmas. Go do yourself. I feel like it's at a certain age, right? Unless they're little kids at a certain age, gift cards and money is the best thing to do.
For sure.
Yeah, mine are both under 18. So I'm at the point now where, like my daughter, I don't really get anything for fashion for her. It's more, she likes super soft. So if I can find something that's very soft, that's perfect. Short of that, it's
like a good blanket. You always find a good soft blanket out there. Yeah.
I like sweaters and stuff. It's just a matter of finding her size, because she's small, My son is just now starting to get into jeans, so it becomes a little bit easier for him. But again, I'm not the fashion guru.
I know. I feel sad. I'm like, I could barely dress myself. Dressing somebody else is probably not my strong suit.
That's exactly it. And so I try my best. And every time I find something that I really like, it's of course the wrong size. And I'm like, well, do I think that maybe she could squeeze into that, or she could grow into that? She ain't growing very much anymore. She's 16 years old. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So it's like she's going to be a medium. That's what she's going to be. There's no small, there's no large, just medium.
Yep.
So, which then you're like, oh, is this grown big or whatever? Like, this is what I run into. So, no. And of course, they don't have it in medium. They only have it in small. So, such is life.
Yep.
Yeah, you kind of 34 and 27. Yeah, they're kind of going to kind of be what they are.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh
So,
yeah, mine's, and she's almost 30, so for me though, this year I bought teeth because she had to get a teeth surgery, dental surgery, so I put a lot of money out on dental surgery. So I was like, that's your Christmas and your birthday present this year. You don't have to pay the bill.
You got her a plane ticket to Mexico.
Pretty much. No, I got she had the cadaver bone because she's got to get teeth replacement, so she's got that cadaver bone put in. So that's like, it's like 5-6 grand just to do that.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, that's your, don't ask for anything this year.
Right.
how long does that whole process take?
So they put the bone in. It's an in and out surgery, so same day surgery, and then it's about 6 months, a good 6 months of healing, and then you can start scheduling the implants, and then they do the implants, which is another couple of same day, and then it's another couple months of healing, and then they go back, and I think they put the posts in, and then they go back again later, and then they put the teeth on the post. So it's like a 3-stage process. Probably takes about a good solid year before like everything's good and set.
When they start, when you see them in between, when the posts are in but the teeth aren't yet, that is some like horror movie stuff. That like obviously they have caps and everything in the meantime, right? But but when you see the caps off and it's just the studs, you're like, ooh, man, pretty sure I'm gonna die. Like,
well, she got herself into a little bit of trouble as a youth and destroyed her teeth, and we're fixing them now that she's in a better spot.
Nice.
Well, good for her. Like I said, I know that's it's interesting because it's one of those things that I'm thinking about working on. The problem is that like I said, I got to assume that they have like partials or whatever in the meantime that she's got in her mouth, so that she's not walking around with no teeth, right? I assume that they have that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got like partials, like they make a little fake denture kind of thing, but the big thing is the longer it affects, like if you have like one tooth, the whole biggest problem is she's got like sections where she's got like no back teeth, right? So then what happens is there's that little gap is too big, and so the bone deteriorates so fast, and that's why it's like immediately like she doesn't have enough bone now to go into. By the time we were able to do the surgery, she didn't have enough bone because it deteriorated too fast. So that's why they tell you, like, once you get your gaps in your teeth, if you're going to replace them, you got to replace them fast. Otherwise it gets to a level where the bone is too thin, and then they have to put something in. So if you've got big gaps,
interesting,
take care of it. Yeah. Because it's not having a tooth in that bone that creates the deterioration.
Right. The bone starts to disappear from that area.
Yeah. So that's the problem. Is that's why you got to do those things kind of fast if you're gonna do the surgery.
Right. Well, I'm gonna let you guys talk about sports for a second. I'll be back in just a moment. I'm gonna go check out of this one store. So give me a second.
Man, good stuff. So what do you have on tap for Christmas?
Honestly, today's Christmas Eve. I'm off today, so today will be more of hanging out. I think I'm gonna go pick up my mom and try to drive down in the Nisqually Wildlife Reserve, go for a walk.
Oh, cool.
Get her out if it's not raining down there. It's raining here, in Ballard, but if it's not raining down there, and then probably do some dinner. I think gonna go for Indian food.
Nice.
It's just me and her today, so I don't want her to cook. My mom cooks. She does this thing every year where I tell her now, like, you cook, which is amazing. The food's amazing, but the problem is you cook all day.
Yep.
The kitchen is a mess that I got to clean up. I don't want to clean up, and it's just me and you. And then you're never hungry by the time we sit down and eat dinner because you've been cooking and tasting, and you're tired and you're cranky, and you're like, oh, I cooked all day, and then I got to do the cleanup, and I'm just like, it's not fun.
Yeah.
I mean, your food is delicious, but it's not worth it to me anymore if it's just us two. So let's go out for Indian food, my treat, because they're open.
Well, I mean, that makes sense, especially being just the two of you, right?
Yeah.
There's no reason to cook all day. Plus, then you have an incredible amount of leftovers that, you're probably going to throw half of away just because the
Yeah.
first couple days of leftovers are cool. And then after that, you're like, yeah, this is like the 4th day in a row. Like, I'm good. Like,
Oh yeah. No, I usually feed my neighbors because
okay.
I got a really good relationship with my neighbors, and so what'll happen is I always bring my leftovers over there. And I'm like, here you guys go, because they don't got a lot of money, and they're young and don't have a lot of money. So, but they watch my cat. Like when I go on vacations and stuff, they'll come over and move my car for me. We share like apartment keys and car keys and all. So
Oh, that's cool.
they're good. Yeah, they're good people. So I feed them. My mom will make dessert. Like she makes dessert. She makes a cheesecake. I'm like, great, Mom. We're gonna have some cheesecake.
Nice.
She makes a cheesecake for like 10. Right?
Oh,
You know what I mean? It's like this giant cheesecake. I'm like, then she comes on, and then she like takes a little sliver, takes it home, and then she's like, the rest is yours. I'm like, what are you how fat do you want me to get?
right.
like, come on. So I always end up bringing it over there. I keep like one slice for myself, and then I'm like, all right, here.
Yeah.
So that'll be our Christmas Eve, and then tomorrow I think my daughter's we're gonna go over to Isabel. Me and my mom try to go over to Isabel and her boyfriends, and at some point maybe do a brunch or something. If I'll see what's up with her. She's got her other side of the family, like her mom's side of the family, and I don't really want to interact with them, so we're trying to separate. I'm like, please don't invite me with those folks.
Joe's coming. It take you a minute to get here, but yeah.
Oh yeah, Joe. We have my mom's Italian, so we get a lot of Southern Italian food. You would love it up here. Like usually it's I always joke the Italian dinners. I miss it when I was a kid. It was like a 7-course meal, 8-course meal. You have your antipasto, and then you have your soups, and then you would do like your pasta, and then you would do your meatballs and your sausage, and then you would have dessert, and then you'd have coffee, and then you'd have the turkey and the stuffing and all of that, or ham. Well, Christmas would be ham, usually ham or fish. And then you'd have another dessert, more coffee. So you start at 2, end at 10. It was like 8 hours of eating. Missed that.
And this made me laugh. Can't make a small cheesecake. And why I laughed is, so for me, I don't like cheesecake, right? So that does nothing for me. But what it immediately made me think of is when I make brisket. Because whether I make a 4-pound brisket or a 14-pound brisket, the time's the same. So why would I make the small one?
No, that totally makes sense. That totally makes sense.
Like instead of the 13 hours, it's 14 to 15 hours. So for 2 hours difference, I can have, I can slice a ton off and freeze it and whatever. And it's just like, yeah, there's zero scenario where I want to make a 4-pound brisket with the same amount of time that it takes a 14. And when we were down in Mexico, the butcher was like right around the corner from us. Right. And so I sent Danielle, I was like, hey, go grab me a brisket from the butcher. Cause they didn't speak any English. So it was hard for me to, communicate. And so I was like, oh, go get that. And she came back with a 2-pounder. Right. And I'm just like, I don't like, what am I supposed to do with that exactly?
That's like a meal.
So then I was like, so they're like, okay, we'll go back. So then they went and got another 2-pounder. So I had these 2-pound. I was just like, this is the worst because I'm still going to have to sit here and watch this thing for 14 hours. But we're going to end up with very little meat.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, exactly. So you got to go big or go home.
Yep.
Right. So I agree. And then hopefully watch a little football tomorrow. Though I'll be honest with you, beginning of the season to tomorrow's games looked fantastic. Coming into tomorrow, all 3 games
terrible.
Are horrible. Like I have no desire. Like I have no desire to sit down and be like, yeah, football. Like I'm actually like, I could care less if I miss it. I'll watch the highlights. Not one game is interesting. Not one game matters. I wish they would have. It's too bad they couldn't. I wish they would have flexed some of these games, maybe.
Yeah,
so
it's too hard to flex
one.
Thursday.
I know. So at least we had one game that counted. So I'm watching something that's of value. Otherwise, yeah, really, I'm like, it's not even my team, and so
there's
I'm
still
gonna do the highlights.
There's still a weird outside chance for the Lions, I think.
Yeah.
but everybody else is,
Yeah.
locked into wherever they're at, right?
Yeah.
So when you look at the lineups, you have the Cowboys at the Commanders.
Yeah.
Commanders are done. I mean, Cowboys are done too. But when you look at the percentage of victory, everything is lining up for the Cowboys, right? Their defense has been playing better. Their offense is one of the best offenses in the league. The Commanders are heavily injured and not even really trying now. Lions, Vikings, that one should actually be a decent game, right? Like there's not a lot on the line for either team. The Lions have an outside chance. It's like less than 1%, and they need everyone else to lose.
Yeah, I mean, at this point.
And then Broncos, KC. KC's done. Broncos have it locked up.
Yeah. Like, so. I mean, and I mean, I wouldn't have minded like a Kansas City game even if they were losing, but it was, all their starters in. But like, you're talking about a team that couldn't even beat the Titans last week. I have no desire to watch them against Denver. Like that game is going to be a trash game. All of them are. I mean, I guess you could say like the Minnesota, Detroit, like you said, they're like two teams that like they'll battle out, but for nothing, right? Yeah,
but at least that one will be interesting. Like that one will at least be fun to watch. The other two games probably won't be that interesting. That's like the game today, right? You got the Hawaii Bowl today. So it's Hawaii versus Cal.
Yeah.
Right? Like you're talking about 7-win teams. They're 7-win teams for a reason. You're going to watch some really bad football. They probably put it today because it's the only way people were going to watch that bowl game.
Yeah.
I think if I remember right, I think that's actually the other bowl game that's going to be discontinued after this year. I think it's that and the LA Bowl that the Huskies just played in.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't know that. So I knew that the Huskies one was ending. I didn't know that this one. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it may not be this one, but I know there's one other one that's ending this year. The college football playoff is killing the bowl game. So,
yeah, no, that's true. And then like you said, with the NFL tomorrow's, I feel bad for Netflix. I mean, think about Netflix. They put all this money to host these 3 games tomorrow, and
so the thing about that though is these games are going to be on. So people may not necessarily watch them intently, but when they're talking about ratings, which is all they're going to care about, people are going to have these games on because people are going to be hanging out with their family. And when they want to start tuning people out, they're going to be like, oh, let me look at the score over here. Like,
that's true.
So, I mean, if you're just looking at it from a rating standpoint, the rating is still going to be good because people are going to be, they're going to have it on in the background.
Yeah. I guess when there's no other choice. There's no competition on that day, right?
I mean, there's some because there's some hockey, there's some basketball. Like there's actually a lot going on, but
actually, I don't think hockey does anything.
What's that?
I don't think hockey does anything. I think they actually take Christmas off.
I thought they had games tomorrow. They don't today.
I'd almost rather watch a football game than a Kraken game at this point right now, anyway. So.
They did win yesterday.
Whoa!
Hey,
was that 2-10 in their last 12 or something?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, they snuck by the Kings. So.
Well, the Kings stink too. So.
How many points out are they? They were like last time I checked, they were like 7 points behind. For getting that last spot in the playoffs.
They're all the points behind.
I was gonna say, like, there's no chance that they can make up enough points to get into the playoffs. So
not unless they're gonna trade for some shooters, right? Because I mean, the defense has been fine. Their ability to goaltend is good. They're actually in the top 5 as far as stopping goals. The problem is they just can't score. So unless they're going to do something to bring scoring in, they did move up a little bit. They're now 3rd from last in the Pacific Division, which is crazy because ahead of this 12-game stretch, they were 2nd.
Yeah.
So they really just kind of fell apart. And but they have won 3 straight. So maybe they're turning it around. But I mean, they went from having a kind of even point or score differential. They're like -18 or -20, something like that now. So
Okay. New coach next
Well,
year
and-
again, probably.
no, probably not.
And the West is is a different animal than it is in on the East. It's for instance, like I think like the East is a much harder conference in general. The way that it's structured, I mean, it seems like it's very top heavy. Even the Flyers right now happen to be on, like actually, I think they have. If it was for percentages, the Flyers would have actually the second best percentage in the NHL. They don't have the points to show that yet because I think the one team's got some teams have got so many more points or more ties. Those single point games, I can't stand them actually. The 3-point games without a win being 3 points.
I mean, honestly, if it wasn't for all of the overtime runs, we wouldn't have been talking about the Kraken at all anyway.
Mhm.
I mean, when you were looking at the first 22 games, 10 of them were overtime.
Yeah, they were on that little streak there where it was like every game too, in
Oh, yeah.
succession.
Yeah, they had a stretch where it was like 5 or 6 in a row. They were all in overtime. One or two of them went to shootouts. I mean, they've and that's really showing you how their inability to score is, because a bunch of those times they were on power plays. They're one of the worst power play teams in the league as far as actually scoring. So when it comes to the offensive side, they just can't seem to get anything going, certainly not consistently. On the defensive side, they're among the top of the league. So that, I think that's what's so frustrating about the Kraken, is it's just like, okay, like they play really well on their side of the ice, and as soon as they cross that line, they're like, yeah, we don't know what to do now.
Exactly.
Well, and San Jose has got a couple of goal scorers over there, and they stink right now too. I mean, obviously they got a really young team. They don't know quite how to win yet.
Yeah.
It's same situation with the Flyers, although the Flyers team is winning, which is a surprise. And I guess you could say that has more to do with Couturier and Travis connecting when you're talking about the Flyers. However, they still need a goal scorer. That's the biggest problem with the Flyers, is that if they had a true goal scorer, they would probably be the best in the league right now, because they actually have decent goaltending and they're playing defense, which is nice.
Where are they in the standings right now? I haven't checked them.
They are third in the division. So it's the top 3 from each division gets to go to the playoffs, and then there's 2 wild cards. So they've been fluctuating from the top wild card spot to third in the division. But they have games in hand.
You are second. You are second in the division as it sits this morning.
Yeah, we did win yesterday, so against Chicago. So and like I said, they've been playing really well. Usually at Christmas is when, if you are in the playoffs at Christmas, you're making the playoffs.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how that all works in hockey. We'll see.
Yeah,
I said they're going to make the playoffs.
That's where the Kraken, and I said this, a few games ago. It's like, if they're going to try and make a run for it, they got to go get a scorer now, because the guys they have obviously aren't just going to learn how to score randomly. So they need to go get somebody, because, I mean, otherwise you're going to be too far out of it.
Yeah. And I don't know what their record is right now, and I don't really know much about that team. But if they got a good defense and they're just not scoring goals, one person is not going to make the difference.
No, you'd have to go get a couple of guys. Like you need to go get a couple of guys that can put the puck in the net. And I mean, unfortunately, that's just not what is currently on this roster.
Yeah, I'm gonna say too, like getting one might be somewhat easy, maybe, but having to pick up multiple players at this point, I would think would be pretty much difficult.
Well, yeah, because you need
Having to
somebody,
one.
the goal scorer, and then you need somebody to get him the puck, which means then you got to put them on the same line. Then you're top line heavy. You know, everybody
well, I
else
was
is a muck and grind line.
So our guys can move the puck around fairly well, and they do get shots on goal. They're just not good shots. So if you got two scorers and you had one for each line, would probably work. But
if you had two scores for one for each line, you still have to have somebody pass them the puck.
no, but that's what I'm
So-
saying is they actually do move the puck well. So it's not that they wouldn't have the assist. Like if you look at shots on goal, they do get the shots off. They just don't take good shots. So it's the assists are there if the puck actually went in the net. So if you had a guy that could take some better shots, the team does get the puck to a shooter. It's just they can't convert. So that's where they need some help. Is actually just getting it in.
And that's where you need a bigger guy in the front of the net. If you're going to pepper the goalie, if you're going to shoot on the goalie, you need to be able to make sure have somebody there to get the rebounds. And that's a part of hockey that has completely changed, over time, because it used to be you'd have somebody in front of the net kind of blocking. Now they don't do that anymore, which I'm seriously surprised about. Like back in the day, you had Tim Kerr, and Tim Kerr was the master at that. He would sit there and sit in front of the net. You couldn't move him, and you'd shoot the puck, and all he would do is deflect it. You know, sometimes the goalie would save it, sometimes he wouldn't. You know what I mean? And that's, he scored 50 goals like 4 years in a row doing just that. Yeah. It amazes me that part of hockey is no longer there anymore. Because I feel like if you had that guy who's in front, what that does is that just creates rebounds. When the goalie can't see it, he can't get his glove on it, which means that he's using his pad to block it, and that leaves a rebound, and rebounds are what scores goals.
For sure.
It's not that first shot, it's the second or third shot that comes in. And that's where you score most of your goals in the NHL. You know, again, there is some finesse players, like Ovechkin scores just anytime. You know, he can score from anywhere doing anything. There are a couple of guys that are able to do it like that, but not many. You know, it's just now the goaltenders are too good, and you have to be faster.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's way easier if you can muddy up the front of the goal and they can't see.
Right. But they don't play that way. That style of hockey is like dead.
Yeah.
So at least it surprises me. Like I can't imagine why that is, especially with a coach like Tocchet, who played that way, was very similar to having somebody out there and just like in front of the net, get somebody there, because all it's doing is, again, it just creates the rebounds. So.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't complain because the Flyers have actually been doing pretty well when it comes to stuff like that. They've been shooting and scoring. They just don't have that one goal scorer that's just automatic. And I miss that.
I'm going to take Pags Eagles.
Yeah, me too. Actually, you know what? No, I take that back. I'm taking Buffalo here.
What are you just trying to piss Brad off on Christmas Eve?
Yeah, 100%.
Both trying to find our differentiator in our pickings. That's the excuse. The differentiator. No, I am taking the Eagles though. I got faith that Eagles can do something here. So come on, Pags. I need that.
I actually do think that we're going to win this game. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm sort of watching to see what Allen's foot condition is, right? If he is, if he's still limited, now obviously for Pick'em we got to lock him in tomorrow morning, right? So they lock for the week, but I would be on the Bills unless that foot is a bigger issue than it sounds like it is. because obviously the Bills go as far as Josh Allen does. Like if he is Superman, he can beat anybody, and if he's not, they can lose to everyone. So, but when it comes to Eagles, I just don't trust your offense. Now I know you look good against a couple of trash teams the last 2 weeks, but it's there's something about that offense that I don't particularly love.
We will see. I think the Bills are a little bit on the fraudulent side. I think that they have, they've won some games, but some of the games that they've lost have been weird, and I just don't trust them. I don't think that they have a good enough team. And I think it's going to get blamed on Allen when he doesn't make it to this Super Bowl. And this is a Super Bowl that they could make it to.
Yeah, well, I mean,
he'll take the blame 100%. I agree.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, it is a fraudulent team. There's no question. Like they win games because Josh Allen is special, and any of the games that he's not, the rest of the team can't pick him up. Like if he has a game where he throws a couple of picks, it's a wrap because their defense isn't that good, and the rest of the offense can't do anything. Like it is all predicated on Josh Allen being amazing.
What about Cook though? I mean, he's one of the top running backs in the league this year. I mean, Cook's really, really good. I mean, so like to me, I think like that's what I would like to understand from your perspective, Pegs. Oh, go ahead.
Well, so he is really good unless they're not throwing the ball well.
Yeah. Okay. Because like what I want to know is how's Philly against the run, really? Because I feel like he's going to be he's going to be a tough stop.
We have the second best defense in the league right now. I think we are maybe third or fourth against the run, and we're like number one against the pass. So it's the defense isn't the problem. I think the defense is actually part of the problem on the other side, which amazes me because they have a defensive coach. So it surprises me that the defense is the issue over there. Mm-hmm. I mean, you have Josh Allen, so you know that your offense can score points. If he's at 100%, they could go down at any time. They could like do a 2-minute drive and get down the field and score a touchdown. But their defense can't seem to stop anybody. Because, I mean, the games that they're losing like because they're just getting outscored.
Yeah.
So I think that the Eagles defense is only going to allow up. If you don't score 21 points at least, you're not going to win. Now, I think that if the Eagles can put on average about 25 points on the board, if they get over 25, they're going to win every game. That's how I feel that, because I don't think any offense in this league can score 21 points on the Eagles.
Oh, okay.
Not right now, not the way they're playing.
All right. We'll see in the playoffs when they play the Hawks.
Well, it's interesting. The Hawks and the 49ers both own their fates.
Yeah.
So whoever wins, and like I said, if the 49ers win their next 2 home games, they won't leave home again, including the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the matchup. So all the numbers kind of lean towards Buffalo here, but again, it's all really on if they can be if Josh Allen can be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like you said, Josh Allen hasn't played against a defense like this.
No, that's true. Not recent. Yeah. So.
No, it's going to be a good game. I'm excited to watch that one.
See, like that would have been a great Christmas game.
Yes. Yeah. I'm not excited about the slate for Christmas, but obviously the Lions-Vikings game will be decent. The other 2 games are going to be terrible, but I'm still going to, watch them.
Yeah. I found it very interesting that they made the Cowboys and the Lions both play on Christmas.
Yeah, since
And
they
they
are
are
giving.
and they're both playing away.
Yeah.
So, and I understand that because they listen. You always have Christmas at home, at or Thanksgiving at home every year. You know that'll never ever change. Which surprised to me. I'm surprised that the NFL continues that one specific tradition. You know, I can understand maybe the Cowboys, but why the Lions?
I mean, I guess why not? I mean, they've been good enough, recent enough that at least it's generally a decent game. Like this one will be a good game too.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter, but it'll be a good game.
They change everything else. How come they haven't changed that?
I'm
like
sure
the
it's
Lions aren't. Yeah, the Lions haven't really wowed anybody.
No,
ever. Sure. So,
you know, I'm not sure because that is technically the last Thursday night game. So it might be on Prime. I'm not entirely sure.
The third game is a Prime game.
Okay.
Oh, it's
2
Prime?
on Netflix, 1 on Prime.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to know all this because I will be bartending tomorrow. Tomorrow night is my one night of the year that I bartend, and we have the shitty gift auction where you bring in a shitty gift that you received for Christmas, and we will auction it off for you for charity.
That is
awesome. I love it too. It's like it's something you received that was shitty. So it was like, hey, cousin Joe, look what's up on the auction. Right? You know, like
exactly.
You have to bring the person that gifted it to you to the event.
Oh, that's awesome.
Then that person might buy it back.
I know, right?
And then give it to you again just for spite.
Next year.
They're like, no. You are getting this present.
You got a birthday coming up?
I'm gonna re-gift it to you every time.
That'd be amazing.
Awesome. Yep. That's awesome.
That's like Old School. Was that movie Old School where he keeps giving the same toaster oven?
Yeah.
He gives it to the kid for his birthday. Look, that's a toaster oven. Yeah, they just look at him like shaking his head.
Yep. So, I was going to ask you guys, what do you think about the DK Metcalf situation? They upheld his suspension, and now he's like 45 million in non-guarantees now.
So you had to try to appeal. You were never going to win that appeal, but you had to try because that negates a $45 million guarantee. He can still earn that money. It's just it gets rid of the guaranteed option on it. And then of course, he's trying not to lose $500,000 by missing 2 games. Missing the 2 games doesn't actually hurt the team that much. They're pretty much locked into their spot now. But
the non-guarantees, though,
that's huge.
That's huge because that also gives Pittsburgh an out right after next year.
Exactly. And it gets rid of his injury guarantee as well. So that's a $20 million guarantee if he gets hurt.
Yeah.
So,
all because he got suspended.
Yes. Well, so not because of the suspension itself. It's because of what he was getting suspended for is conduct detrimental to the team.
Yeah.
And every NFL contract has those outs. Basically, if you become a problem, they can get you out of there. And so then, there's some other camera angles, right? That, again, we haven't seen any that's been close enough to hear necessarily what he says, although...
well, did you see the cell phone one?
So this is the one I'm going to show right now.
You can tell he did not call his mom.
Hey, DK, don't sign it. DK, don't sign it. DK, he about to throw that motherfucker away.
So, And then this right here is where the guy Ryan Kennedy, the fan,
Yeah.
said that he categorically denies that he said any of those things. And if there ends up being some, and then it goes on to say that, you know, obviously he's not going to have any more statements because now this is going to court.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to defamation, and like this is going to
That's the
see the
thing.
NFL. I mean,
If
beyond
there
DK,
ends up
this is
being
the league.
clear enough audio that can prove that he didn't say those things, DK is going to lose some very real money. It's also going to hurt him in the way of other fans will now start barking at him, probably do say some wild stuff because now he'll have a history of lying about it if that's how that plays out.
Oh, well, and also the league, right? Because I mean, when you sue
Exactly.
for defamation, you're suing the league, you're not just suing DK. So the
No,
league,
that would strictly
league's
be
gonna have to settle out of pocket themselves. I mean, this is a whole mess. I think in general.
Well,
you know,
so
of
no, the
relations mess
defamation,
for the NFL.
the defamation would only be against DK, right? They kicked him out of the stadium because that's a protocol thing, right? But now it would make it so he wouldn't be banned because if he didn't say those things and DK just overreacted, you know. And then of course after the fact, there's another angle that has him saying like that was the goal and whatever, right? Of course you're going to say that. First off, you just got half yanked over the railing. You got to try and save some face, but that is the goal. Like if you're a fan trying to get under a player's skin, that's what you're going for, is to make them lose their mind. I mean, DK's lucky that the ref didn't see it. He'd have got bounced out of that game in real time.
Yeah. I mean, we all knew that he was capable of this. I mean, we saw this in Seattle, his temper in Seattle. And, you know, like, I'm sure Pittsburgh in some sense is kicking themselves for, you know, not realizing or not seeing it. Or if they thought that they could control him, he just proved you can't. And it's not like, and it's worse to me. It's worse because you went after a fan, right? It's not like another player was, you know, talking trash at you and you're in the game and you're combating. And so like that adrenaline and you want to fight with the other player. It's like you went after a fan who called you a name, supposedly.
Well,
like,
and this right here is there's been people that have come forward that were sitting around him that said the guy didn't say it.
Yeah.
So now, you know, that becomes much more
interesting. The thing is, though, is I think in the court of law, though, like I would say, like, even if he did say it, which is inappropriate by a million different reasons, right? I still don't think it gives DK the ability to actually take a swing at this guy. So, like, the physical violence, no matter what, is he's going to be screwed either way. Even if he was in, like, I would have done the same if you called my mother an N-word, right? Or something like that, right? Or the C word.
Yeah. The thing is it's different when you, like, if you were looking at this in any other world, right? Say this happened on the street. Okay. You haul off and sock the guy. Hey,
and everybody around you says, good job.
Yeah.
Right?
And you know what still happens? You go to jail for assault.
Yeah.
Like, just because you can take the recourse you want doesn't mean there's not consequences to that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's why I always laugh when people are like, oh, my First Amendment right to be able to say what I want. It's like, yeah, it also means you can get punched in the mouth. Like that's a very real thing. But if you are in a stadium where you have millions of dollars on the line, right? Potentially your playing future on a career that already isn't that long. Why would you go out of your way to walk over to the guy? And then how do you not have any of the Steelers staff being like, hey, get over here, just leave that guy alone? You know, I mean, there's so much that went wrong for him to be able to do that anyway.
No, I agree. Hey, maybe he ends up as an Eagle soon, right? Because you think you're going to get rid of AJ?
Nope.
Switch him out?
Nope. I don't think he's going to be getting rid of. I think that, we wouldn't. It's not our culture. He's a culture guy, and that's not our culture.
You guys would have had Big Dom grabbing DK before he got there. He'd been like, hey.
That's exactly correct. You know, that wouldn't have occurred. He doesn't run the routes right. He doesn't do those types of things. He's somewhat uncoachable, and that's not the way that the Eagles choose players.
It's honestly why the Seattle didn't pay him. He's not a great culture fit. He doesn't run routes particularly well. Like, he is a go ball guy. I mean, because you watch him drop easy passes. He'll make the miraculous one, but he'll drop, some of those crossing patterns that are like right in the chest. He just doesn't stay focused long enough to actually haul the thing all the way in. So, I mean, like, I was calling for him to get out of Seattle for 2 years before we did it. I'm like, man, this isn't the dude.
You too, Donna. So do you think then that Pittsburgh decides now to cut ties with DK early at all in any way, and then who would give him another job at this point?
No. He'll he's still there because they don't have anybody else. They got rid of Pickens, because they're like, oh yeah, he's a hothead, and they're like, hey, let's go get this other hothead who's not as good at football, and we'll give him a ton of money. No, I mean,
and they chose not to use Pickens either. So,
yeah,
what's that?
They chose not to use Pickens. Like Pickens
for sure,
has become so much of a better player with Dallas.
Yes.
Than he was ever going to be with Pittsburgh. They just didn't know how to use him right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So then how do you control a guy like this now? I mean, he's already done the damage with his money. Unless he's
you can't.
He self-controls. What do you do? I mean, if you're Pittsburgh,
he is proven. He has proven you can't do anything with him, because when you look at his penalties, certainly in between plays, they've gotten worse every year. So obviously it wasn't being coached here, right? Some of that you could blame on Pete. Some of it, he was here for McDonald also. So, I mean, he just, in fact, I think it was after the Bengals game last year, maybe it was the year before, where play was over and then he hauls off and just throws the guy to the ground. And he was asked after the game, like, how do you, get your emotions in check and, stay in control? And he's like, oh, I'm in control. And it's like, oh, okay. Like, if that's where your brain is at, you're not going to get better. Right.
Yeah, denial.
And so, as soon as that trade happened, I was like, sweet.
I know.
I think Pittsburgh will trade him too.
Because I was going to say, like, when you're paying this guy that much money, and he's got a temper like that, and you at some point you can't control him, and you have the outs.
Well, the thing is, right? You have the outs of the guaranteed money. You don't have outs on his cap hit.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So they can't really move off him yet because this is the first year of that contract. So, I mean, they gave him a ton of money. I think their first actual out is at the end of next year.
Okay. So he gets like another year to redeem himself, as a player next year, if he can handle his emotions and all.
Now, if he does something else wild, then, you can unravel part of the contract and, approach the league about, some of the cap hit and stuff like that. So unless somebody, wants to give up a bunch of money to, be like, hey, we'll take over this contract. Sure. That, obviously they could make that trade.
Yeah, but I
just don't see that.
How does that work with the cap hit? If he's no longer has the guaranteed money, then, I mean, he didn't get it all in signing bonus.
So some of it is. Yeah. Some of it.
Right. So, I mean, that's, like I said, but that's still.
The cap hit would go down, but it would still be a hefty cap hit for next year.
Got ya.
But, if you're that big of a distraction, sometimes you just eat that. I mean, the Russell Wilson contract comes up in my mind every time we talk about stuff like this.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, oh, yeah, you know how we gave you this huge contract? Don't care.
Yeah, no, exactly. So I was just kind of wondering, like, would Pittsburgh do that? Because, I mean, Rodgers isn't going to be back next year, I don't think. Right? I think this is the 1 year with Rodgers for Pittsburgh. They have to figure out a quarterback situation. And do you want your quarterback coming in and do you want DK being on that team for your, especially if you're going to have to draft one or something? I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
I
would
think
be.
the playoffs determined with Rodgers. I don't think Rodgers is an automatic no-go next year.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking if they missed the playoffs, it was a wrap. He'd just be like, hey, you know what? It's been a good run. If they get in the playoffs and they make it to, the divisional round or maybe the championship round, I would bet he comes back. I'd be surprised if he doesn't anyway.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I think that if you think about some of the things that have happened with Pittsburgh this season, if his guys knew how to catch the ball, they would have won at least 2 more games.
Well, and if their defense, being the highest paid defense in the league, could maybe consistently get stops, they probably win a couple more games.
Well, yeah, but that's not something that Rodgers can control.
No,
Rodgers throwing the
at the same
passes
time-
into the guy's hands and dropping that's a problem.
but yes. Yeah, dropping the ball is definitely an issue. But
Yeah.
when you have what's supposed to be a great defense that also can't stop anyone, neither one of those things help you out very much. And then they're still going to win the division. So I definitely see a path where Rodgers can come back. Obviously, he's shown a willingness to retire and unretire. So
I think he does come back.
One more year, runs it back.
I think if they win a playoff game, I think he does. I think if they go in one and done, I think it's a real question.
Okay.
And I think this stuff happened with DK creates an opportunity for him to get a better wide receiver. Because he wanted to get Devontae Adams here and he couldn't. It didn't work. He was pining. Let's get him. And they couldn't get him. So I'd be willing to bet that he's if he wins one playoff game, which I suspect that they're going to at home, they're going to play against the 5th seed, which may very well be Buffalo. Can they beat Buffalo?
If the defense holds up.
That's exactly
That'd
correct.
be, I don't know. It'd be a good game.
Yeah. I mean, we know they can score on Buffalo, but it's going to be about trying to stop Buffalo with that defense is not the defense that we know Pittsburgh typically has. So.
Right. And the other team, it might be the Chargers, right? The Chargers are the number 2 seed currently.
Second in their division. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but who's
Denver's got the division on lock right now.
The top wild card. Is that the Chargers or the Bills?
Let me check
Did the Bills haven't played the Chargers yet this year, did they?
No, I don't think that they play each other.
Okay. So they don't have that tiebreaker of.
Oh, they actually, they got the same record right now. So
yeah.
I'd have to look further into it as far as what the conference record is.
Yeah, so I remember when I was looking yesterday, I think that the Chargers are holding that number 1 wild card spot, which means that they would be the ones that are playing Pittsburgh. And if that's the case, then with them playing Pittsburgh, I think Pittsburgh beats the Chargers.
I think they have an opportunity to. Yeah, I think Pittsburgh can handle the Chargers better than they can handle the Bills. But
I agree with that statement.
The Chargers do have the first wild card at the moment.
Yeah. So, but again, it's going to ride on Pittsburgh's D. So
no, for sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could say the same thing for the Bills, though. The Bills, if they can get stops, they beat everybody, and when their defense is awesome, they lose, especially as soon as Josh Allen decides hey, if you're wearing a jersey, I'm going to throw it to you. Mine, yours, doesn't matter.
True. Yeah, we'll see.
Right.
And then I was going to ask you, so Harbaugh, does he get fired or not? That's the other question I had wanted to see your opinions on.
So you have to think this is going to be a real conversation, because you have a game that can keep you in the playoff hunt. You've you've done, work all game. Derrick Henry is busting off 7 yards a carry. And then the last 2 drives to seal a victory, he doesn't touch the field. Like, one thing if you don't hand him the ball and he's a decoy, but he is riding the bench. You go into the last 6 minutes, 11 points up, and you don't let that guy get back on the field. That was tearing off 7 yards a carry. That is a stupid number.
That's what I didn't understand why they kept him for. He had 1 fumble, but early in the game, so I didn't understand why he was kept off two drives at the end there. Even Harbaugh's like, oh, hindsight, I would have played him, but why did you even need that hindsight? Like, what makes you decide not to play this guy?
What's the stat sheet of you dominating a defense?
That statement's a fireable statement
for sure. Well, and that's why I think Harbaugh has a real shot at getting fired, because we've watched him do this same thing in the playoffs now, a couple of years in a row, and now in a game that could help keep you in the playoffs, you again decide, hey, as one of the best running teams in the league, we're just not going to do it. That's coaching.
Yeah.
Plus it was your backup quarterback. Like, help your guy out.
No, exactly. Like you didn't even have. You had Hundley in there for like a half, right? Because Lamar went out in the first half, so you had a whole half of football, and you didn't do any of this. And it that was a coaching breakdown. I agree.
And I think that can get you fired. I think that right there, because now you have a track record of it. Like, when it's a high profile, need it game, you abandon the thing you're the best at. And you've done it in the playoffs the last 2 years, and then you just did it to miss the playoffs this year.
Yeah, because it's funny. It's like you always say, when they learn that they have Derrick Henry on their team and they run him, they win. When he has 10 carries, they don't win. It's still going through this year, right? You would
think somewhere on their staff would watch film. Be like, hey, you know, when we give this huge dude the ball, we win a lot. It's crazy.
Amazing how that works, doesn't it?
I feel like if Harbaugh gets laid off anyway, if he gets fired anyway, he'll easily find a job.
Oh, he'll get another job. Yeah, there's no question. He'd get another job. That does get us to the top of the hour, though. I appreciate everybody that's been watching along with us. And, Merry Christmas to all of you guys here on the panel. And, of course, those watching at home.
Too. Enjoy.
Merry Christmas, and get your shopping done. The stores are not that busy. I am in the 2nd largest mall in the United States, and it is not that busy. So come on out, get your stuff done.
There you go. Go make it busy. Thank you, everybody.